Welcome to Scrub Mode, the podcast that sits at the intersection of gaming and monsters. Welcome to your regularly scheduled programming.
We're back.
We're back.
I hope it's regularly scheduled.
We're good. Everything's okay. Ryan's okay. I'm okay. John's okay. It's good to be back. What we got in store today, John?
Have you ever heard of a spooky little guy called Indrid Cold?
Indrid Gold?
Cold.
No.
Cold. Indrid.
Oh, really? Okay. Excellent.
I've heard of Idris Elba.
Maybe
He's a wonderful actor / DJ, I guess.
He's pretty awesome.
/ gold salesman / echidna.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
He's done a lot.
You can call him transformative.
He's such a cool guy. Anyway,
I gave him shit for the gold thing, but if the gold lobby came to me and was like, "Would you be in my hour-long gold documentary? We'll pay you so much money," I would have said no.
Yeah, right? I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure. I have some intel.
I'll tell you whatever you want me to say, man. Just
Put me on there.
sponsors. This goes for you too. You don't have to be the gold lobby. We're cheap.
I'll do it for $1.
Whoa! Have some standards.
Yeah, whoa.
I don't know why.
We're aiming for monetary.
I don't know why. I said that. Anyway. Maybe a cool 20, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Well, 20 each.
20 each,
Yeah.
you know?
Let's at least be able to buy a sandwich with our lack of morals.
Yeah.
Look, man.
Give me $20.
You
I'll
said
shine you
$1,
out,
but you have $1 per minute of per view.
Yeah.
We try to put in 60 minutes, so that's $60.
Oh, man. What are we talking about today, John?
We're long promised. We're sending D&D out of the room briefly. We're doing a weird ass contactee story, another dumb alien story.
Mm-hmm.
We love them.
We love them. So get comfy. Maybe enjoy some substances that'll put you into the right headspace.
Take a melatonin. Knock out.
Oh,
Knock
wow. See what lasts longer, the story or your ability to stay awake.
My heart goes out to anybody who falls asleep listening to this podcast. What sort of nightmares you're gonna get?
Not even nightmares. I hope it's just nice, sweet dreams.
Yeah.
All right, so our setting is West Virginia, and the time is the 1960s. Are you guys aware of how weird West Virginia is at this time?
I'm not aware, but I can imagine how weird it can be.
Didn't some writers come out of Virginia?
1960s West Virginia?
Yeah, I can imagine. I don't know why. I was thinking, why? Is this the home of like Edgar Allan Poe or something?
No.
Where is he from? I forget where he's from.
I know he died in Baltimore, but I think he's from... God, I have a Poe poster right there, so I'm really showing that I'm a fake fan.
I'm sorry, Einstein. I failed you.
Edgar Allan Poe.
I think it's... Is it Georgia?
He was born in
Let me look it up.
Boston, Massachusetts.
I'm going to look this up.
He always
I already looked it up.
He did. It was
Boston, Massachusetts.
I see. He was born in Boston. Okay.
But he made him... anyway. So, we got this... The Flatwoods Monster had shown up in this part of town a few years earlier.
Uh-huh.
Which is the very popular in Japan, just showed up in Dan to Dan. You know, Ace of Spades headed Mind Flayer ass monster.
Yeah.
But a few days after this story starts, Mothman's going to show up, and then UFOs are going to be everywhere. The Men in Black is going to be everywhere. There's going to be Bigfoot in the woods. It just like every weird fucking thing is happening here at once.
The progenitor of the weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
if anything, the way Mothman responded, he's like the Godzilla of the U.S.
Yeah. It's funny because like Indrid Cold is sometimes used as like the Mothman's actual name, but we're going to see that they're very different entities. So like It is 1966, November 2nd, and a very rainy night.
Mhm.
And our main character is a guy by the name of Woodrow Woody Derenberger. What is the most 1960s job you can think of?
Farmer? 1960s farmer? I don't know. Guy who made part of the first car?
Farmer's a pretty good guess, because like you literally, from the start of human civilization to the end, that's never, so there's always going to be someone who's a farmer.
What job?
He's a traveling salesman.
Oh, that's the job. That's the job
that makes
people
sense.
did back in the day.
That makes sense.
Traveling
Snake oil?
salesman. No, was he selling?
Stereos and sewing machines.
Oh, not
Alright,
encyclopedias.
No, not the classic encyclopedias. So
Damn.
he's coming back from Ohio to his home in Mineral Wells, West Virginia, at around 7 p.m. on a very dark and spooky rainy night.
Mhm.
It was a dark and spooky rainy night.
He hears a bump in his car, and he looks over his shoulder to see what happens, and a sewing machine fell off of a stereo.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And while he's looking to see how badly he's fucked up the merchandise, he notices that there is a car speeding up behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, so the car
That's never good.
the car quickly passes him and overtakes him. It's then that he realizes that behind the car is a big fucking weird UFO,
Ooh.
hovering just a few feet above the ground at car level, and it's gaining on him.
Oh, God.
The way he describes it doesn't make any sense to me, but he said it was 45 to 60 feet long. Quote, like an old-fashioned kerosene lamp chimney flaring at both ends, then narrowing towards a bulge at the center. So like a TIE fighter with like hourglass wings?
Interesting. It sounds kind of cool. But
Yeah.
Wait, you said it was a lantern?
The chimney of an old-fashioned kerosene lamp.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Let's see what a kerosene lamp looks like.
Good idea.
A chimney of... Oh, I see. Okay.
Actually, I get it now.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's like a teardrop, two teardrops kind of connected at their skinniest part to a bulge in the center.
Sounds like a Naboo starfighter for some reason.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It does sound very Star Warsy.
Yeah, it's either it's either a Naboo starfighter or like the Enterprise.
So while Woody's trying to figure out what the heck is going on, this vehicle like paces him, and then it shoots ahead of him and turns sideways to block the entire road.
Oh.
But like far enough away that he can slowly and safely come to a stop.
Okay.
He doesn't gonna like slam on his...
slide.
Yeah.
The ship just went...
Wow.
Vin Diesel's at the helm.
Oh, no.
That'd be funny.
Him in his Riddick arc.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, Rick's great.
Yeah.
He sees in the dark and he punches aliens.
It's cool that the major part of the first movie is space Islam. Like Keith David and his buddies are just trying to get back to Earth to do the Hajj. I don't know. I think that's neat world building.
That's all they wanted.
That's all they wanted. Anyway, so a door on the ship opens, and a humanoid figure gets out of the ship and starts to approach the car.
Wow.
Never good.
Nope. And as soon as he touches the ground, Woody gets a telepathic message saying, "Roll down your window."
Oh, crap. Space cops.
Space cops!
Make sure you get the smoke out the other side.
Toss your weed quick, man.
Yeah,
You're in the middle of nowhere in West Virginia.
Spray around.
So the guy crosses in front of Woody's headlights so that Woody can see him clearly. And he is 5'10 or 5'11, 180 to 185 pounds, with black hair that's been slicked back. And he's wearing a suit, not unlike the suit Woody was wearing, but made of a shiny fabric.
Cool.
Button-down shirt, but no tie.
Oh, Okay, this guy's a psychopath.
Business business casual, I guess.
Yeah.
He's here for business.
Would it make it better if I said he was smiling the whole time?
Oh
No.
Ooh,
Not at all.
that's weird.
So the guy comes up to the passenger side of Woody's car, and Woody rolls down the window like he was telepathically instructed. And telepathically, the man's like, "Hey, what's your name?" But Woody's too terrified to speak. And the guy's like, "Don't worry, if you can't say it, you can just think it, and I'll hear you."
Does he think his name, or does he think something funny?
Eventually, he says, like, "I'm Woody."
Mhm.
And the grinning man tells him, "Be not afraid," which is never a good sign.
Yeah, that's never.
That's some like.
That's like telling someone at gunpoint. It's like, I'm not gonna shoot you.
Be not afraid.
Only creatures beyond our recognition say, "Be not afraid."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like in other stories we've covered where someone's getting violently abducted and the aliens are like, "I'm just going to do a bunch of invasive surgery on you. Don't be scared."
Yeah, be not afraid.
Either that
Be
or
not afraid. You're
Superman
just
said
going to
that to
pull
Lois
your
Lane,
flesh apart.
famously, I think.
Did he?
Yeah. He's like, don't be
Well, I
afraid.
mean, like, he is an alien, so
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
Hey, wait a second. Slicked back hair.
hold on.
Is it Clark Kent?
Maybe.
Constant smiling. No, but he's only 5'10".
Yeah.
Something like that. So,
I think Superman.
And 180. He's
Yeah,
skinny.
I see.
isn't Clark like fucking like 6'10"?
I think he's like 6'4" or something. I don't know.
620.
I don't know how tall Superman
he's
is.
6'12" and he weighs like 300 pounds of pure muscle. It's crazy.
Maybe. I don't know.
So the dude then immediately goes into small talk and he's like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?"
Mm-hmm.
Woody's like, I'm a salesman. What do you do for a living?" And the guy's like, "I am a searcher."
Oh,
A surger?
A searcher, like somebody who searches.
Oh, he's a searcher. He searches. That sounds like a cool fake job.
Yeah.
It'd
It'd be cool to have
if Woody wanted to, really prove his mettle as a salesman. He's like, "Are you searching for perhaps a new stereo system?" Or...
Yeah, see, you got the grind set, Ryan.
Yeah, so maybe a sweet sewing set to help mend your suits if they get dirty.
You look like a man who needs a stereo.
Yeah. That ship looks like it can hold one of my new stereos.
Maybe enough for your whole planet. I don't know. You get stereos back on wherever you're from.
Do you guys have an audio system that can support over 120 decibels?
It's the 1960s, so I can't imagine how shitty these stereos must have been.
Oh, yeah. Right? Coming all crackly.
And we know one fell, so like
Mm-hmm.
the merch ain't cherry is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's bumping around inside of his Econo van.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as the conversation goes on, this mysterious grinning man asks Woody what the collection of lights up ahead are, which Woody knows to be a city.
Mm-hmm.
And Woody's like, "That's a city." And the guy's like, "Do people live in cities?" And Woody's like, "Well, not that city. That's just for commerce. But yeah, people live in cities and suburbs," to which the grinning alien's like, "On my planet, we call them gatherings, and everybody lives there."
Hmm.
Like a city.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
And
alien.
After a beat, apropos of nothing, the alien turns to... Actually, maybe I want to give you guys one of these lines.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
Let me speak in alien.
Here's the word for word what he says. I find this line to be a little creepy.
A little weird. The alien says, "Mr. Derenberger, look at me. I am the same as you are. I sleep, breathe, and even bleed as you do."
I don't trust it. I don't like it.
That's
I mean,
weird.
I don't know. If something boasts that it bleeds like me, it's like
Like, how do you know how I bleed?
Yeah.
You know how I bleed.
I don't know. I scream a lot when I bleed. You scream a lot, Mr. Alien?
I don't like the idea of something telepathically telling me that it bleeds just like I do.
Yeah, that's bad.
I like the thought of it telling me that it eats and sleeps like I do. Or breathes and sleeps like I do.
It's like, sure you do, dude. I bet your planet doesn't even have Taco Bell.
Oh, man.
So again, Woody was like, the alien was like, don't be afraid. You have nothing to be afraid of. My country is not nearly as powerful as yours.
Oh, okay. He says country?
Maybe it's a psychic mistranslation, but like, if you have a UFO, I think you're more powerful than the United States government.
I don't know, man.
Then the alien narked on himself. He told Woody to go home and call the cops.
Oh,
What? He says you should call the police,
Yeah.
Mr. Derenberger.
That's interesting.
He said,
Wow.
I'm susceptible to crimes, just like you.
We're gonna meet some crimier aliens coming up, but that's at the end. We'll put a pin in that.
Wow.
I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, like the line of dialogue between them could have gotten even worse. Where he's just all like, "I'm telling you, Mr. Derenberger, you need not be afraid of me. I can abide by the law, and I can murder just like you."
Thought you were gonna go the other way with that, where he's like, "Don't be afraid. Come on, I'm not as strong as you are. Come on, I'm just a little birthday guy. I'm just a little birthday boy."
He's like, I can die by suffocation, just like you.
So Woody goes home, and he's shaken up a little bit. So he's so scared and so shaky when he gets home. The first thing his wife says is, "Did you have an accident that killed somebody?"
Oh, shit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
She's like, just lay it out for me straight. Did you run over someone?
So he's like, "No, I met a freaky alien."
That's
That'd
okay.
be so funny. No, I did.
And he told me to call the
Buddy.
cops, so they called the cops. And word got around, and the next day, Woody was on a local radio show where he talked about his story for 30 minutes, and he like instantly became a local celebrity.
Wow. I saw the
Good for
alien.
him. I saw the aliens, and he said, "Woody, Mr. Derenberger," he addressed me formally. He said, "I heard you sell some of the best sewing machines in town." And
Again,
my God,
He didn't have the grind set.
he did not have the grind set. He could have used that 30 minutes of fame to boost his sales. Man.
Yeah.
He does talk about how after this he would get calls from people being like, "I do want to buy a stereo or a sewing machine," and he'd get there and they just want to talk to him about UFOs. He'd be like, "God damn it."
Oh,
He
man.
tricked me.
And he would have people like camp out in front of his house because people started seeing UFOs in the sky
Oh my
near his
God.
house.
Oh. He's like a little beacon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a couple. Oh,
Oh man. No, I'm just saying.
a couple days later, on November 4th, he's driving with his friend on the way home from Pomeroy, Ohio, when he feels a weird sensation in his temple.
Uh-oh.
And he's like, "Shit, it's that alien. He's trying to contact me again."
Just a telepath.
What is this? This could just be a migraine, man.
Yeah.
It could just be a migraine. I bet the guy he was riding with is like, "What's wrong, man?" He's like, "It's a fucking alien. He's trying to call me again."
He says nothing to his friend. So I'm just like, what was this guy thinking the whole time?
Just watching it. I mean,
Just watching
thought it was
him-
a migraine. Yeah.
Watching him dissociate out super hard.
He's just probably thinking he's having like a really rough day.
Yeah. A little bit of narcolepsy.
A lot of UFO nuts have been calling him, trying to just talk about UFOs to him.
Yeah.
He hasn't made a sale in a while.
It's been a rough 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't blame him. Sometimes you just got to sit in your car, rub your temples.
Yeah. So what happens next is Woody finally is like, "Okay, I'm going to try to ghost this guy," and he keeps not picking up, but the feeling continues, and eventually he's like, "Hello?" is this you, the alien? And the alien's like, yeah, bud. Hi, what's up?
Mm.
By the way,
I called you like 6 times. Why haven't you picked up?
drive carefully, but I need to drop lore on you.
I need to give you the skinny right now.
I'm from the planet of Lanulos, located in the galaxy of Ganymede.
Okay.
So worth noting that Ganymede is a moon of Jupiter and not a galaxy, but Woody will later say that he says that that's probably this guy lying to him to protect his own people from the U.S. government.
Probably.
Listener, Julio just visibly cringed.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's like, man.
It's not like the U.S. government has the ability to pry into your mind.
Yeah.
I sure hope not.
I sure hope not. So the alien says that his name is Cold.
Okay.
And that he has a wife named Kimmy.
Oh, that's nice.
And a newborn baby girl named Kimmelis.
It's a...
Inspired.
Well, then you're going to love his 2 sons, which he doesn't name at this juncture, but later on we'll find out that their names are Connor and Connard.
I'm sure that never gets confusing.
Connard sucks, dude.
It seems like Mr. Cold and Kimmy had very little inspiration, or like at least are the parents who are really bad at naming their kids.
Yeah.
I've seen D&D characters.
Like Connor was like their peak. They found out it was just like, oh, that's a brilliant name.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're having another son. What should we call him?
Connard.
Connor.
Too late. It's in the book now. That's his name.
Past tense, Connor.
He drops some more lore. He says that his planet only has 3 seasons: planting, harvesting, and cold.
Wonderful.
The 3 seasons.
Oh, and you're named after that season? Rad.
And also that his people live 125 to 175 years because they eat right.
Are those Earth years or their planet
Earth
years? Earth years? Okay.
Yeah, or is that his...
That's Earth years.
His Ganymede years.
Okay.
Okay.
So, like, quick footnote is, like, this is goofy shit, right? This is so dumb.
Yeah, this is weird.
In the intervening years, Indrid Cold will, like I said, become associated with the Mothman.
Okay.
As, like, maybe the Mothman's real name. And also, what he's sometimes called the Grinning Man ends up being, like, a creepypasta monster from the early parts of the internet.
Ooh.
But as we can see, he's just a weird little goof guy who keeps psychically calling his buddy.
He met a guy, and he's the guy who meets someone on the street and immediately like thinks that they're friends.
Yeah.
That's what happened. He met someone on the road and he's all like, "You're my friend now," but he didn't tell him that.
You're my best Earth friend.
Yeah, he just thought it.
We really connected that night.
Yeah.
That night where I cornered you and told you that we both bleed.
Yeah. The one where we made our sworn brother pact, where I told you that I eat, breathe, and bleed like you.
Yeah.
And the way that you didn't respond in an affirmative way, that was very...
really told me, man.
Yeah. It touched me that you were so accepting of me. The way you stared at me with your widened eyes and your dilated pupils. The way that they shifted as if you were saying, yes, we're friends.
On my planet, that means we're real friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The way you shift your eyes left and right really fast as if you were searching for something, like our friendship. Very important to me.
Gosh, okay. So the third time Woody makes contact with this Indrid Cold alien, he comes home one night and the normal crowd of UFO fans and campers are not there.
Oh.
So just as he opens the door to his house, he gets a telepathic message from Indrid saying, "Hey, it's me. I brought my friend Carl. Can we hang out?"
Carl.
You brought
Carl an Earthling?
Carl is also an alien.
Oh no.
I'm not positive. It might come up later. I think he's another Lanulosian.
All I can think of is the Aqua Teen Carl. So it's just like there's the grinning man.
Spaceship.
Yes. There's the grinning man in the suit, like they're sitting in the kitchen or in his like fucking living room.
In his outdoor above ground pool.
Yeah, exactly. And Woody's just all like, "What are you guys doing?" He's like, "I'm freaking enjoying the pool." Hey, Woody, I took a dump in your toilet. I didn't flush it or anything. The Lanulosian tradition.
Oh boy, that's really going to color some things later.
I'm sure.
So Woody's like, "Yeah, do you want to come inside and meet my wife and kids?" And they're like, "No, we don't want to scare them. Let's just hang out on the back porch."
Come on, guys! You drove all the way here from
Do we get an actual description of Carl, or
we don't get a description of Carl.
Okay.
His name, we later learn his full name is Carl Ardo.
Carl Ardo. Okay.
He looks like a normal human, I guess, in the same way that Indrid Cold looks like a normal human.
Mm.
Does he also eat, breathe, and bleed like us?
We do not know.
Oh, God.
So they sit on this back porch, like shooting the shit for 2 hours. And during the course of this conversation, Carl and Indrid say that there's never been a war on Lanulos because they don't understand what the word hate means.
All right.
It's like, that's so funny.
Is this conversation like held telepathically the whole time?
Part telepathically, part by mouth.
Okay. They said they don't know what hate means in their minds.
This is a good time to tell you that this book is like 77 pages. It's filled with typos, and Woody is just not a good writer. And I'm cutting out huge chunks where Woody just complains about like the government or his neighbors or his wife. Like,
he's so salty. Wow.
He's really salty, and the story's out of order.
Wow.
And all I can think of is that one chapter just reads like, "Oh, and then the Cold and his friend Carl came by and sat on my porch," which, by the way, my neighbor threw a bunch of leaves that he was raking one time onto my porch, and it took me hours to clean that shit up, and I can't believe it. And
you're not far off.
has gone missing. And I think it's them.
If you add something like on Lanulos, this would never happen because of the telepathy, you've basically nailed a good amount of this book. So they're like...
Cole picked up on my thoughts, my angry thoughts, and he said, "Well, we never had anyone steal our mail from our mailboxes because we have no concept of stealing."
Yeah. Okay. It's basically you fucking have this dude's number. Like,
I love the idea of trying to explain hate to aliens. Like, it's like, liking things. Like, yes, and it's like the opposite of that. It's like, okay, whoa.
Like, what does that mean? What is the opposite of liking things?
Well, how do you guys feel about war?
It's bad.
Okay, so hate's like that. Okay,
hate is bad.
But we feel it towards other people due to like resource conflicts.
I still don't understand.
Yeah,
just don't get it.
So the aliens are like,
so confusing.
The aliens are like, if you guys had telepathy, you wouldn't have any wars.
Wow. I don't know, man. I think the way humans work, I think telepathy would make it worse.
I agree. I have to agree.
I feel like wars would break out more often.
Later in the book, they're also like, no one can go into your mind unless you let them. I'm like, nobody would let each other in each other's mind.
Yeah, dude. First off, wrong. You let yourself into my mind immediately after you landed. You're using that telephone shit that you did earlier as an excuse. Like,
yeah.
You're using it as a cover-up, man. You came straight into my mind and said, "Don't be afraid." I was like, I didn't accept any phone calls.
Yeah, the first thing you said to me was, "Roll down your window." You didn't ask.
You didn't ask me anything. No telepathic Pacific Bell was just like, "Excuse me, you have to collect a call from a Mr. Cold."
So now we get to the part of all these contactee stories where it gets weirdly religious. So the aliens also don't understand why we have so many different religions.
Okay. Wait. Are they an alien species that only have one religion or no religion?
One religion. They all just believe in the one true God who created everyone and everything all across the universe and loves us all equally.
Is that Buddha?
Which is why there's no discrimination on Lanulos.
Is it Buddha?
Which also, they're conveniently and coincidentally, his name was Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It was Jesus would. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh. So he
told me that his one true God's name was Malthus Indigo, which was also conveniently translated in their language to Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We're not there. We're not at Ashtar command levels. There's no Jesus is on the spaceship with them, but we're close.
Okay. We're getting there.
They do say that Lanulos was populated by a spaceship that crash landed on Earth, and everybody was trying to fix it, but they got mad at each other. So they Tower of Babeled out, and they all split up and went different directions, and then they all got very lonely, and they wished their friends could hear their thoughts, and God gave them telepathy so they could all come back together. And then they decided they loved it here on Lanulos, and they didn't want to fix their spaceship after all, because now they all understood and loved each other.
Great.
Sounds like an okay science fiction story, I guess.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty C-tier science fiction story.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Mr. Woody was a guy who was just like, I always wanted to get into writing.
It's no what was it? Flowers for Algernon?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Ain't no of mice and men.
This is how thin this book is, guys. It's
oh my god.
Wow.
If Mr. Cold was just all like, just think of the flowers.
Yeah.
Just think of the rabbits, Woody. And he hit him with a mental bullet that erased his memory of him.
That's telekinesis, Kyle.
With mind bullets.
So then Carl and Indrid explain that there's an intergalactic council where each planet gets a number of representatives based off their population size, and that said representatives are elected by popular vote, and they all share the technology from everywhere in the council, so that everyone gets the best technology from every world.
It sounds like a stupid ass government system.
Yeah, I mean, I like the popular vote, but here, living in America,
right.
I don't think our form of representative government's working very well. Right? I'm seeing some uncomfortable parallels.
Someone figured out the cheat codes.
What if there's a species that has 600 babies? They're just going to outvote you on.
Exactly. They're going to have 600 babies, and then they're just going to be all like, hey, I don't really like this guy. Can we all vote against him? Agree?
And I don't know. Exopolitics stuff always gets weirdly racist weirdly fast, but
it's so strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't dwell here. Instead, they're like, Woody, do you want to come on our ship and see our cool planet? And Woody's like, no, that's scary. I gotta go to bed. That's
fair. I'd be like, I don't think I can make that trip, guys.
Yeah.
Your planet's really far away? I don't
It ends up being 30 minutes away when they actually do go.
They have a faster than light drive or something?
Yeah, Woody says they can bend space and time.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
They just folded over those two parts of the areas and they just traveled between the small part.
Tesseract, yep. Okay, so once again, it's 2 days
30
later.
30 minutes? A little slow. Little slow, guys.
We could do better.
Yeah, we could do better.
So 2 days later, Indrid and Carl come back at around 11 p.m. and they're like, Woody, do you want to go on the ship? And Woody's like, you know what? Yes. Let me go inside your ship.
He said, fuck it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Take me to Lanulos.
He's like, I've lived long enough.
You want to get in the car? Get in the car.
Just throw me in.
So the ship starts to lift off, and Woody's like, oh no, I fucked up. They're kidnapping me.
Carl's like, yeah, we're going back to life. Hey, don't be careful about the upholstery. It's leather.
So remember, they can read his mind, and they're like, no, we'll go back if you want us to.
Yeah.
We're not kidnapping you, bro. Chill.
Yeah.
We'll take you anywhere you want to go, man. Where do you want to go? So he goes, I don't know, the Amazon.
Okay.
All right.
And we take him to the Amazon.
Where would you want them to take you guys? Where would you go? I'd be like stupid. I'd be like, let's go to the sun. This is spaceship,
hopefully they're
right?
smart enough to like park like far away enough that they don't melt.
Yeah. Where would I go? I would say, I want to go to Mars.
Yeah, Mars. Would
Like,
be cool.
let me see the world's biggest volcano up close.
Yeah,
but not too close.
Do you guys have sweet spacesuits?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'll stay in the ship, man. This is enough.
Yeah, I'll look out the window.
Or no, let's just take me to your world if it's as cool as you say.
Yeah, if it's as chill as it is over there in the sector of Ganymede.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. If they go to another galaxy and it only took 30 minutes, that's actually kind of fast. If you think about it, that's kind of fast.
I mean, we're playing Calvin Ball here. Like, who knows?
I know.
It's not instantaneous transmission, but it's
to get to Mars, it'd probably take like a few seconds, right?
Yeah. I mean, they seem to go there almost instantly.
Wow.
Because once they're done with the Amazon, they go to the moon.
Okay.
Oh shit.
What do they see in the Amazon? Do they say anything?
He just says, like, I see all the plants and the animals in the villages.
He doesn't name anything specific?
No.
Which
he's like, all the things that you've seen in an encyclopedia,
yeah,
it's there. And I can confirm that the Amazon's real.
You guys have asked me so many questions that I had while reading this book, and Woody is just really light on the answers.
I see.
He doesn't describe anything but what he sees. Here's our one D&D related thing. It's like, when your players enter a dungeon, you could describe, like, is it cold?
Anything.
Is it warm? What's it smell like? What do you hear? He only describes shit he sees.
I see.
He doesn't paint a rich picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw a tree and an animal, and then I saw a hut. There was another tree.
Hut, Woody? In
Yeah.
the 60s? Are you sure?
Yes, in the Amazon, correct.
Okay.
There was a hut and bushes.
And
Did I mention tree? There was tree.
And there was a large cat. That's in the Amazon.
Anyway,
was it like hot? Like the Amazon's humid, right? Don't know.
Don't know.
I saw.
I was in the ship. I don't know.
Yeah, blue sky. I mentioned trees. There were trees.
So they fly him behind the moon, where there's a big Lanulosian mothership hiding.
Sick.
And they dock with the mothership, and then the unnamed Lanulosian commander is like, "Hi, nice to meet you, Woody. Would you like dinner?" And Woody says yes. So they eat a dinner of space potatoes, space green beans, and a meat called kautuma that he said tasted like wild deer.
Kautuma.
Yeah. Kautuma.
What was the second thing you described?
Space green beans?
Space green beans.
A vegetable that's closely analogous to potatoes, a vegetable that's closely analogous to green beans, and then a meat called katuma that tastes like wild deer.
Wow.
Look, man, it's the only thing that he had the ability to compare it to.
Yeah,
I can't help but think he was like, yeah, we had kautuma. We had green beans, but they were space green beans and potatoes.
And then we had a starch-like product that was like a potato. Strangely enough, they were mashed.
It was like rice, but the size of a potato.
I mean, that's already better world building than this guy's got.
There was a flavor in there that I identified that was close to butter, but I'm sure it came from space. Their concept of oils is very close to ours.
They only use they use no seed oils because they listen to RFK.
Whatever that means, seed oil.
We're so doomed.
We're fucked. I'm convinced that he's controlled by like 7 like individual brain worms that have taken over.
Yeah. He's got the illithid parasite, or he's got the Goa'uld inside of him. 100p.
I hope there's an incident later where like he's speaking in front of a camera and then his head explodes and there's like a fucking octopus creature there.
August from like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, there's just like if the fucking centipede that comes out and starts swinging around.
FBI, this is a joke. FBI, this is a joke.
I'm just saying, it would make way too much sense.
It would.
Or if he was like Salazar or fucking the boss.
Yeah, a little Napoleon boy.
You know? That would make so much sense.
I love that game. That game is
it's so good.
It's an amazing game.
There's a reason they ported it to literally everything.
Yeah, there's a reason why they ported it to every new console, and then they made a remake that is probably going to get ported to every new console.
Yeah.
I gotta get that game again. Oh, man. Last time I played was GameCube. Oh, man.
Yeah. Ooh,
it came out on the GameCube.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, man, that game was awesome.
Anyway, so once they're done with Space Potatoes, they take them to Saturn. And guess what? We're totally wrong about Saturn.
What happened? What's wrong with Saturn?
So Saturn is actually a giant bowl.
A giant bowl?
Okay.
A giant bowl with people living on the inside.
On the inside.
It's like we're cereal.
Yeah.
They're the cereal of the world. Is the bowl filled with an ocean or something?
No. He doesn't say much. He says it's an entirely agricultural world where they get all their machines imported to them.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a bunch of farms inside of this bowl.
So they're part of the galactic economy.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the rings...
I can only guess that they sell their crops.
Yeah, they probably make the space potatoes and the space green beans, right?
I guess. They've got a huge monopoly.
Yeah. Apparently, the rings of Saturn are an illusion. They're just rainbows made by light refracting off the ice on the lip of the big bowl that is Saturn. Which is one of the dumbest sentences I've ever said.
You could have just been all like, Saturn.
This is why you gotta set your alien fiction further and further outside of Earth, because now that we've sent drones to all these places, we know the bullshitters, which is why the bullshitters have to be NASA and every other space agency is lying.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they finally go to Lanulos after this. Like I said, it only takes 30 minutes, and they fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
They took little detours. Saturn was essentially the giant yarn ball.
Yeah. They had to stop at the Amazon, the Moon, and then Saturn, and then they were like, all right, he's ready.
Exactly. And then they visited the House of Wax.
Yeah.
The Wax Museum in space.
And they took a pee break real quick, and then
they had to pull over at the rest stop.
A big thermometer on the way to the sun, and
Exactly. It only takes the temperature of the sun.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why NASA hasn't seen it, it's because their drones are terrible, and since everything is elliptical and moving around, they're always on the opposite side of the.
Look, it's basic math, okay? They're just dumb. Yeah. They just don't.
This is, Geometry 101. How are you gonna plan out your course if you're on the same gravitational, rotation as the giant thermometer in space?
It's first grade, okay?
First grade.
Indrid explained it to me. It's really simple.
Exactly. He's the one who said turn it to Wumbo.
So Woody sees mountains and rivers and fields and forests, and they fly low, and he's like, can I go outside? And they're like, no, you need your immunizations first.
Wow, okay.
And he's like, ah, man, and they take him home.
Woody said, no way.
You need your
I'm
vaccine.
An anti-vaxxer.
God, oh boy, we've really been coming out against RFK in the last few episodes. It's not stopping.
Really, I mean, you really got to swing up, honestly, as much as you can.
Okay. So after the tease, Like a few weeks later, on May 11th, 1967, Woody is again driving towards Pomeroy when Indrid telepathically calls him and is like, "Hey, today's the day, buddy. You want to go to Lanulos? We'll pick you up." He's like, "Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go, man.
Let's go." So they tell him to park his car. And he parks his car, and he's going to abandon it by the side of the road in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
And Indrid's like, "Hey, they're going to think you got murdered or something. That's suspicious. My friend Clinel from Caribus is going to help you out."
From Caribus?
Okay. Caribus. Maybe it's Cerebus. It's Cerabus.
Huh.
Rabus.
I can see your fucking brain coming out your nose. It's just so...
I know, do I have a computer?
No, I'm just saying, like, I can see your brain melting because this is so fucking stupid.
This is good.
So then, behind Woody pulls up a blue Volkswagen.
Uh-huh.
And Clivel and his friend, Elvain Kleta, get out of the Volkswagen. They were carpooling.
Uh-huh.
And so Woody gives Clinel the keys, and they're going to drive Woody's car to the nearby city, where it won't look as suspicious, and then they'll all meet up later.
Mm-hmm.
So Woody kind of gets carjacked.
Yeah. Look, just trust Elville, give him your keys, and it'll be fine, okay? You're gonna be okay.
Your car with all your merchandise in it, it's gonna be fine.
We're just gonna park it somewhere.
There's some shady-ass shit, man.
Yeah. Elville, sorry. He's gonna walk around.
Yeah, Clinel and Elvain.
Now, don't worry.
Wow.
But he's just like, you're getting their names mixed up a lot. It's okay. They're very similar dudes. They're very good friends. Anyway, they're gonna just park your car in like a plaza. They're gonna walk around for a bit. And then when we come back, I'll call them telepathically. They'll bring the car back to the side of the road, like nothing happened.
Can you imagine getting back to your car and it's got a bunch of parking tickets because these fucking aliens don't understand?
Aliens don't understand what red zones are.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? Flanell, Elvain.
We parked it in the nearest spot, just like we said we would, by the fire hydrant.
We brought it into the parking lot. And then we parked between the blue lines because blue is my favorite color. You're not supposed to park there. Those are for handicapped people. Well,
it just looked like a man in a car.
Yeah, we assume that because cars on our planet are just giant wheels we sit on, we assume that it was also some place where we could park your car.
We will get to the cars on their planet. How these aliens have a Volkswagen, by the way, is never explained or examined at all.
They obtained
showed
it.
Up
they
in
bought it with their own money.
I'm telling you, that question was in my head the whole time. You said 2 aliens popped up in a blue Volkswagen. I was like,
Yeah. Okay.
Are you sure they're just not here to maybe they will just murder you and then just take the car?
I think they're fucking with him. And
how does he explain telepathically talking to them? Is that just his own fever dream that he's like,
I'm saying if these are real aliens, I don't think they're friendly. I think they're fucking with him for a goof.
It's just a prank, bro.
So Woody gets on the ship, and a guy who he says is not a doctor, but more of a medic, named Daryl, gives him a shot.
They couldn't even come up with a name at that point.
No.
They're like, we ran out of names. This is Daryl.
It's spelled just like the human name Daryl, too.
And Daryl, strangely enough, was one of the most alien-looking dudes there.
Yeah. So then Woody gets in an antiseptic shower, and then he's ready to go to Lanulos, and the first place they stop is the desert.
Okay.
Nothing happens there. He just says there's a big mountain of sand. And then they go to Indrid Cold's house, and he gets to meet Indrid Cold's wife and his family. And for some reason, the house is made out of bricks.
Bricks.
Okay.
Just bricks. Strange. Just earth bricks.
Earth bricks.
It's not strange at all.
One of the walls facing east is made out of glass, so that they get sunlight all day, which implies that this planet has the exact same axis and rotation as Earth.
Okay.
I just think it's him being uncreative.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just him not giving up.
I guess, yeah.
Or like not enough research into,
having one of those sci-fi tropes where I'm like, that only works on Earth because of these specific things. So it's weird that that's happening here.
Makes no sense.
Anyway,
it's just like Earth, guys. Just like Earth.
So Woody sees cars that look like flying carpets. Some of them seat just 2 people. Some of them seat up to 27.
Wow.
Mostly there are walkways that move via telepathy, like walkways at airports.
Okay.
Like flat escalators.
Yeah.
He gets on a flat escalator and they take him into a store.
Okay.
Where he sees a bunch
of flat escalators. Just
so like, my wife calls them walkolators because you just
walkolators, people movers. I'm not sure what the correct term is.
It's like
the Jetson sidewalk.
It's
I like to call them. Yeah, I like to call them like, what is it? Like auto sidewalks.
Auto sidewalks.
Yeah.
So it's all auto sidewalks that are controlled by your mind. How that works with a bunch of people coming and going in different directions. Anyway, they go to a store.
One guy that's like underneath, that's like telepathically moving it all the time.
Yeah, maybe there's a whole underclass here.
Yeah. He says that there's no war, but there is class division, and they treat the ones at the bottom really bad.
Yeah.
But they're okay with it because they know that they're at the bottom.
Yeah.
No one knows what hate means.
No one knows what hate means. That makes it okay.
That makes it okay. That makes effective slavery.
So what he thinks about grabbing like one of these toys or alien toys or board games is proof. But Indrid and his wife grab his arms and are like, "Hey, bud, we wouldn't let you do that even if you could. Ha ha, come along."
Oh, wow.
Which seems really sinister to me, but...
That does seem incredibly evil.
Woody's like, yeah, I just agreed I wouldn't steal anything.
I'm worried more about we wouldn't let you do that even if you could.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What's your option B for like the guy that can beat you?
I'm shrugging, listener. I'm shrugging.
Like, do they like blow up their home? Like
just psychically vaporize you.
Exactly. Like, do they just like destroy your brain and be like, well, that's it. He was a good man.
They just like erase your identity.
Mind crush.
Yeah. They Yu-Gi-Oh style just fucking.
They said you did like your shadow out.
So next, what Woody describes is essentially luxury gay automated communism, but it's definitely not communism.
Okay.
He says that there is no
luxury gay.
Yeah.
Communism.
Luxury gay automated space communism.
Sounds like libertarianism.
Well, here's what he says: is that there is no money on this society. Everyone gets script, which you just go to the store and you write down what you need, and you on the script, and the storekeeper gets the thing and keeps it in inventory so they know what that you got. But then you get that thing, and everyone gets the same amount of script, except for some people get a little bit more if they have a bigger family. But everybody, there's no want on Lanulos. Everyone gets exactly what they need. They give stuff to you based on need. Nobody ever wants for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is equal from the highest members of the council to the lowest ditch digger. Everybody makes the same amount, and everybody is equally respected.
Sounds good on paper, I guess.
Yeah. Well, again, this is a very blue sky, broad strokes communism. So, the Lanulosian.
Me a paper that says 55 hamburgers, 55 tater tots, 55
So poor Woody is like, wait, that sounds like communism. And they're like, this is not communism. This is the free will of the people. It sounds like communism.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm cool.
So, but I mean, like, hey, if it works on your planet, it works. Who am I to judge?
Yeah. So they then take Indrid and Carl take Woody into another store, and they're like, by the way, everyone here is naked. And they strip naked, and they're like, Woody, you should strip naked.
Oh, man.
So he does, and then everybody from there on out he sees is naked. They're all nudists.
Okay.
He does, and then they go, ha ha, we can't believe you took out your outfit. And then they open the door, and everyone was dressed. And
everyone points and laughs. They're all in their shiny suits.
They're like, ah.
Look at this idiot.
I told you we'd get him, guys. It only took about 6 weeks of being his friend, but we got him.
Got his ass. Look at this idiot.
You dummy. You saw me come in a shiny suit. Why would we be naked here at this point?
There's also a weird bit about how everyone is scared to meet him while he's wearing a suit, but once he's naked, everyone's like, oh, you're an Earthman. I thought you guys were much more violent and clannish. Good to meet you.
What do you mean? Clannish.
Woody also describes the weirdest, like one of the weirdest things in the entire book is he says that all the factories have a big moat around them.
Like
and when you're done working in your steel factory, everybody in the shift who remembers naked gets out and jumps in the moat, and they all wash each other off.
Communal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
On a less cool note, Woody says that divorce is not permitted on his planet unless people are "quote unquote" incompatible.
Well, I guess okay. So divorce is allowed.
But only,
but it's under very weirdly vague conditions.
They also note that both the people's parents, have to agree on it.
Oh,
so if you wanted a divorce, your in-laws and your parents had to say like, yeah, let them get divorced.
Wow,
that's
worth noting that Woody is about to go through his own divorce. So
maybe it was a precursor.
Yeah, maybe there's some projection going on.
A little bit. That's Woody be all like, I think the parents should have a say.
Then they wouldn't let her get divorced.
My wife has no right to leave me.
Yeah, she's gonna take the kids and go to Cleveland because of all this UFO stuff. But that's
good for her.
Yeah, I don't blame
honestly.
I don't blame her.
Also, he says that sex inside of marriage means that there's no problem with promiscuity on this planet.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. And then, a purpose of nothing, they take him home, and Clennell is waiting there, gives him another ride in the Volkswagen to his car, and leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was anything missing in his car?
No, everything's fine. Woody... I will say that this is where, like, so many of these stories that sort of peter out, is Woody just gets less and less attention and keeps swearing that he's in contact with these aliens. They take him on further adventures to, like, Venus and stuff, but nothing really happens. So I would like to end on some of the other aliens that are not the Lanulosians that Woody encounters.
Okay. Hit us with these non-Lanulosians.
There's also Venusians and Cerebussians.
They're Cerebussin.
The Cerebussi.
We're going after that Cerebussi.
But they all look like humans.
Okay.
Yeah, conveniently enough.
Convenient.
They're long-lived telepathic people that all worship one god in huge rituals, but they're people.
Are the Venusians people from Venus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like Valiant
and
Thor. Was Valiant Thor from Venus? I can't remember.
Yeah. Valiant Thor did claim to be from Venus, and
right.
Later writers will say that Valiant Thor and Indrid Cold are buddies.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Because they look the same, slick back hair,
right,
nice tans, kind of Italian looking,
right,
handsome.
All right, now that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all come together.
It makes sense now.
I don't know when this milkshake got here.
Yeah, milkshake.
It just appeared?
Yeah.
Is it full?
Is it still cold?
My wife must have snuck it in while I wasn't paying attention.
Is it still cold?
Yeah, it's still cold.
Good.
Sorry, this is going to be weird on audio. All right, let me...
Is that like just a full milkshake? Like, wow.
From Dick's.
Okay.
Oh. Weird.
What flavor?
Vanilla, my favorite.
Delicious.
Okay, so Woody relates a story where he says 2 people in Argentina, Mendoza City, Argentina, were driving home when their car was stopped by a UFO that looked like 2 inverted soup plates. Their UFO hovered down into a vacant lot, and a beam of light shot down from the craft, and 5 little dwarves climbed out and began talking to the men incessantly in a language they didn't understand.
Huzzah.
The dwarves then took blood samples from their fingers.
Oh my god.
And left.
They just
came down. They
checked their blood sugar real quick.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the hell's going on? And they grabbed his hand. He's like, ah! They were like,
stab. Exactly. It said fingertips. It might have just been 1 fingertip from each guy, but I feel like they stabbed each finger.
Yeah, they 2 of them was holding his arm down, and they were just like, took all the blood from his fingertips, left them all wrinkly and like pale. And they just
yeah, we talked about Vegetable Man who was like, help, I need help, and the guy's like, what do you need? Alien Vegetable Man? He's like, your blood, and he sucked the guy dry and then ran into the forest. Maybe it's the same grift.
That's horrifying.
Yeah. That was on the Lights episode? I can't remember. Anyway.
It's just like a shriveled carrot man. He's like, help me. It's like, what do you need? Your blood.
Yeah, check the Blights episode.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so Woody was like, hey, Indrid, what the fuck is this? And Indrid is like, those are the Jammins from Jamma.
Of course.
They be jamming.
They be jamming.
They be jamming. We be jabbing.
So turn on your D&D brains for a second and tell me if this sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
He says that these little hairy bearded dwarves are short and that they rarely grow taller than 3'10".
That's a gnome.
They create the best gear in the universe and are very proud of their craftsmanship. Everybody in the Intergalactic Council values their goods and says that their creations are the best. Their planet is full of rich minerals and valuable ores.
Like the dwarves?
They're just dwarves. They're just doing token dwarves.
You mean like dwarves? Is their planet like... Is their symbol an anvil with 2 hammers crossed or something? Like
Planet Moria. Well, they're from Planet Jamma.
Exactly. The Jamma comes from the jamming of hammers into
there you go.
Plate armor that they create for you.
Wow.
Apparently,
they created some of the most powerful firearms known to man.
Apparently, all Jammins love to talk. And their leader on Earth is named Marma, and he is flying around his UFOs in the view of people, just so people know how foolish it is to try to match up to Jammin' technology.
Yeah. See this? Made by Jammin' hands.
It's like... Jammin'.
Yeah, we be jamming. Oh, man.
We be jamming. Okay. No, that's ridiculous.
It's so dumb. So this is the last. We're running a little short on time.
The Intergalactic Council enjoys the Jammin's ability to create an enchanted blade of silver. Gives you +1 damage.
And also mithril shirts to protect against cave trolls.
Their weapons are the only things that can scar a werewolf.
All right, so I told you about alien criminals. Let's close out with that story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Woody says that a guy by the name of Jim Hackett, who also lived in West Virginia, came to him one night to tell him a story. He said that Jim said that he and his cousin were out looking for UFOs one night when they saw lights appear in the sky, and the lights got closer and were attached to a pink UFO.
That's cool.
Okay, that's stylish.
It landed in a gully next to his car, and then the lights on the UFO started flashing green and red.
Okay.
Soon, Jim and his cousin heard what sounded like voices coming from the gully, and they were jump scared by the sound of a humanoid knocking on their car window.
Is it Akon?
Yeah.
It was not Akon.
Damn.
Akon was maybe the commander who had the space deer. But a strange person had snuck up to their car and then telepathically asked Jim, "Is this your wife?"
Uh-oh. What?
We're bad vibes right off the bat.
Not good. Not good. That's pedal to the metal.
Jim was like, "No, that's my cousin." And so the aliens were like, cool, you should come with us.
Oh, man.
If he said yes, would they be like, you can't come with us?
I have no idea.
What is going
so
on?
he turns to his cousin, and he's like, Darla, lock the door, I'll be back as soon as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets out of the car and follows the aliens down to their ship in the gully.
Okay.
Apparently, in the light of the headlights, he said that the aliens looked human, but they had little red, wrinkly eyes. And instead of hair, they had little quills, like little pin feathers, like a chicken.
Ew. Gross.
So they stop outside of his ship, and they look at him, and they're like, hey, those are cool shoes. Give me those shoes.
Oh, man. This guy's getting bullied.
He's getting jacked, dude. So he's like, sure, and he gives them their shoes.
Uh-huh.
And then guess what happens?
Did they ask for his pants next?
They ask for his watch.
Oh, okay. He's just getting mugged.
He's getting mugged.
He's getting space mugged.
Getting space mugged.
So they take his
that is
watch.
A nice watch. What is that, Rolex?
Let me see that.
Hold on, is it okay? Can you take it off your wrist and hand it to me? After that, they said, now give us your wallet.
They also take his socks and his flashlight.
Wow.
They said, wow, nice socks.
Are those bonobos?
How many times have you worn them? Only 3?
Bombas?
Can you give me those socks?
MeUndies, whoever wants to sponsor us.
Yeah, right. Don't let aliens take your socks with pairs of bombas.
Socks aliens will cross the galaxy and mug you in a gully for.
Yeah. If you wear bombas, be ensured that you'll meet them in a gully somewhere.
So they take all his shit, and then they're like, see you, loser, you're not coming with us. They get in their ship, and they fly away.
Wow.
Oh, they fucking got you.
Damn.
And
they're like, psych, we'll be back tomorrow night. Meet us here.
Why?
Why should we?
We'll give you back all your stuff, we promise.
Then they come back, and they're like, wow, that's a nice bike. Can I have that? They're like, where's your cousin, bro?
Give me your lunch money. So Jim's like, cool, I'll meet him tomorrow, and then he like kind of realizes
that, Jim.
He kind of
half your shit.
He realizes he got space mugged, so he tells Woody, who tells Indrid, and Indrid's like, oh, those are the humanoids.
Those are the humanoids.
Wait, he knows Woody?
Yeah, so Jim knows Woody. Woody knows Indrid. So Jim tells Woody. Woody tells Indrid. And Indrid is like, those are the humanoids, which is the least creative alien name ever.
The humanoid. The humanoids.
Sounds like a band name for an indie rock band.
Yeah. So he says they're harmless, but they will steal any unattended object and would have stolen everything from Darla and Jim if they had been allowed to continue. I will note that his socks and shoes were not unattended.
Yeah, true.
He was straight mugged for that.
Yeah.
They just took it from him.
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't it be crazy if Cole was just like, they'll take anything from you unattended, including your life. He said they were harmless.
It means something different on my world.
Yeah.
Where we don't believe in hate or have any concept of,
nor is there any war.
Our concept of it, really.
The concept of fighting has escaped us, honestly.
But not stealing.
Yeah, so Indrid shows up with Carl, and they have a new buddy named Hassan.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And they're like, here's the plan. We're going to go to that gully. We're going to meet those aliens. You distract them. We're going to flank them.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Is Hassan an alien as well?
Hassan is an alien as well.
Oh, I was hoping he would be like the only other like human.
Nah.
Like, oh, you guys been getting telepathic phone calls too?
Nah, his name is Demo Hassan.
I see.
I mean, that still kind of fits in a human way.
Yeah.
That's just like a novel name for someone.
Yeah. Demo tapes from Demo Hassan, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Demo Hassan. Now, buy his second album.
It's not a bad rap name, now that I think about it more.
Demo Hassan. I don't know.
Demo Son's 5th album. This is not a demo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the humans go down, they distract the aliens, and then the Lanulosians jump out of the bushes. And it doesn't say how these pacifist aliens do this, but they force the pink aliens back into their ship, and then they escort them outside of the galaxy and make them promise to never come back.
Okay. Tough promise to keep, but okay.
Yeah. Indrid again thanks Jim for telling him this, because these guys are bad guys.
Bad guys.
And they would have stolen everything.
The evil humanoids.
But where are they even going to put all the stuff that they steal? Are they like hoarders?
We learned nothing more about these guys, but there's a really bad drawing of them in the book.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's the story of Indrid Cold and the visitors from Lanulos, and I guess the Jamins and the humanoids and the Venusians and the Cerebusians.
Wow.
What did we learn?
Not much.
Not much.
Correct. That is the correct answer. Not much. We learned that Mr. Cold was a guy who came down from his Naboo starfighter, and he told a sewing machine stereo man to roll down his window, and the most unlikely friendship had been created.
And ruined his life.
It ruined his life.
It really did, didn't
By
it?
not really ruining it, but like...
Man, the 1960s were weird.
I mean, he did... Like
1960s
John
West
did
Virginia.
preface, like, do you know how weird things get in 1960s for West Virginia?
Yeah. We'll do the Mothman. I bought that book at the same time. We'll do all this shit.
Sweet.
You know, but like, I don't know. It's so funny to me that like, in my day and age, the Indrid Cold was like a spooky, scary figure, and here he is being like, "Get naked, Woody."
Yeah. Woody, we're entering a marketplace where everyone's naked. We have to strip now.
You get stripped.
You don't want to come off as a threat on my planet, Woody. We don't have any concept of hate or war, but we will kick your ass.
We don't understand hate or war. We live in a classless system where everybody's needs are met, but it's not communism, okay?
Yeah. It's not that. We would rather be dead than red. He
Also-
told him that. His quote.
Wow.
Also, we will violently escort these aliens to the edge of the Note Galaxy, but we are non-violent.
We're non-violent. We will drag them to the edge of the galaxy by their legs if we have to.
By their pin feathers.
We
Oh,
will
man.
tie them to the back of our Naboo starfighter and drag them across the stars to stop them from stealing if we have to, but we don't know the concept of war. Or are we violent?
This is run long. How do we end it? I have no idea how to end it.
Oh, man. If you have also
like
read
to
this
support
book,
us,
you
please.
might be eligible for financial compensation. Anyway, thank you, John. Thank you, Ryan. This is a fun one.
Oh, I'm so glad.
This was silly.
Oh, man. Thank you, listener, for
Well,
listening.
thank you, listener. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out here to your desk or your car.
I hope you're
and
listening
turning on
while
our
driving and
podcast.
driving safely. I hope that's.
I hope
Yeah.
if you are driving, you didn't take our earlier suggestion to ingest substances.
Yeah, do not. That is, the melatonin will not help
We
you.
hope if you go to bed, you get a nice 8 hours. Hope that happens
Yeah.
for you.
I hope that you feel refreshed once those peepers wake up.
Yeah.
The first thing that you see is either the love of your life or,
Maybe a beloved
something
pet.
colorful.
Yeah. Hope you have a good day. Thank you, Jesse Sanders, for making the
Thanks.
music.
Afternoon.
Um,
If you'd like to support us, please, send us a coffee.
send us a copy. I'd
if
appreciate
you'd
it. Click
like
the link
to-
in the link tree. Buy some of our merch off Redbubble.
Correct.
If you'd like to do
If
that.
you'd like to show your interest or your support of us, leave us 5 stars or whatever the maximum rating is.
Yeah.
Shoot us a comment. We promise we'll read them.
And we'll see y'all.
If you do.
Yeah. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.